Hello and welcome to another update video about silver. So on the silver chart, we have obviously broken this triangle there to the downside. As I explained in the last video, we probably have to look at a bit of a corrective rally in wave 4. So the wave count hasn't changed at all, at least not yet, because nothing has been broken. In fact, the price seems to be moving towards that resistance level and target level for this wave 4. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. So there are two main wave counts I have. I count, obviously, the wave 1 complete here in April. It's still a bullish scenario I'm tracking, but very important, we are tracking a bullish scenario, but we cannot call a low in place yet, okay? So I would be extremely careful in the current market conditions. This setback, this move to the downside could get very ugly. And we are not going to call a low in place until we see a first 5-wave move above resistance, followed by a 3-wave pullback. Okay, so that's been the approach, and this has guided as well. Okay, because all of these rallies, they were also corrective, they were not impulsive, and we were still looking for further downside from here. And this seems to be playing out right now. Quite a sharp drop though. But you will remember, like a few weeks ago, I did explain to you that if this triangle breaks to the downside, obviously the C wave needs some space, right? So typically what you have is that the A wave, which is highlighted here in white, and the C wave, they have a certain Fibonacci relationship, and you would normally expect the wave C to reach the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension, maybe even lower, but that's an ideal one, and that's around $20.06, yeah, roughly $20. I did put that onto the chart in one of the previous videos. You may remember it if you watched the video. It's here around $20, $20.14, depending on how accurately you measure. But this is an ideal target should we get one more low, and I would expect the bounce from there. Now, if this is the white wave count, the next low could be the last one. But there is definitely the chance for the yellow wave count, which can take us down lower, probably closer to $19. Okay. In the yellow wave count, I don't have a triangle here. I find the triangle anyway a little bit questionable, but it's possible. In an alternative scenario, actually I should put, in an alternative scenario in the yellow wave count, this would be the A, this would be the B, a very complex structure. And the C wave to the downside is unfolding now, but we had a 1-2, and the third wave is still unfolding. So in this yellow wave count, the next low will only complete the third wave, possibly around $20, yeah. Then there will be a fourth, and then there will be another low in a wave 5. So if we are, if it all goes well, we shouldn't break below $19.15, but time will tell. I would just be very careful and always be aware that there could be just that one more low in the yellow wave count. And if we get a sustained break below $19, yeah, then something more bearish is going on. But exactly because of that, we don't want to call a low too early. We rather want to wait for confirmation. We want to wait for a 5-wave move to the upside and a 3-wave pullback. If we see in this downtrend a first 5-wave move, let's assume this happens here. Let's assume we get a first 5-wave rally above resistance. Essentially, that is what we want to see at some point, because this would be the signal that the trend is changing back to the upside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If something like that happens above resistance, then a 3-wave pullback, a so-called 1-2 setup, this would then be a trade setup for a long trade. We haven't had that for a long time. Yeah, we haven't had a proper 1-2 setup for a long time on a relevant time frame here to indicate that a low is in place. Yeah. But this is basically what we're waiting for. At some point, we want resistance to be broken, and then we want it to hold a 3-wave corrective pullback. So next target, first of all, here to the upside, we might wrap that up next week around $21.71 to $22. Yeah, it could go a little higher, but we don't want a sustained break above $22. And certainly we don't want it to interfere with the wave 1 low. If that happens, then yeah, then the low might be in if we get 5 waves up, because the wave 4 should not overlap with wave 1. Okay, so that's very important. It's basically this trend line. Maybe it goes for a retest of the trend line. But ideally, we don't want it to get above the 50% fib level. Now, it might just test the trend line. So what I will do in case this is a diagonal to the downside, I will add the golden ratio as well, just to highlight, okay, you know, it could go all the way up there. I don't think it will, but it might do. And yeah, that's the relevant and valid resistance area. And then we should get one more low to around about $20. We can calculate that a little bit more precisely once we have a wave 4 top in place. And then the next low will be a major decision point, because then afterwards, if the rally is impulsive, then we have basically what we're looking for: 5 waves up, 3 waves down. But if the next rally is corrective, which would be indicated here by the yellow wave 4, which would be an ABC structure, basically a correction, then we have to expect one more low. And then we definitely have to take a look, okay, could this be the last one? So yeah, I think the downtrend isn't over yet, but I'll keep you posted. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. We did start our stocks and S&P 500 service this week. If you're interested in daily S&P 500 updates as well as daily updates of selected stocks, then check that out. Link is in the description. Takes you to Patreon. If you have a question, let us know by email. But yeah, it gives you basically a great overview. There are daily video updates and so on, so check it out and enjoy the weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.